The Jaguars have one of the most interesting situations I've ever seen in the NFL. First, they have the #1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence, who's supposed to be one of the most transcendent quarterback talents in the last decade. Then you have Gardner Minshew, a franchise quarterback that has been horribly misused and is one of the biggest characters in the NFL. And then you have the man who has the most popular jersey on the team despite never playing for this team and hasn't even played in the NFL for over 5 years and is switching from quarterback to tight end and has already won over his team and his quarterback. And on top of all that, 3 years ago this team went to the AFC Championship game. There's not a single player left on that roster from the AFC Championship game. So what is happening with this franchise? They have a first-year head coach, and they just had one of the worst seasons in the last decade. What's up, guys? We obviously have to start by talking about a guy who took his team to the playoffs and then led them to an overtime victory almost a decade ago. Tim Tebow, who surprisingly looks super strong at the Jaguars practice and has gained 20 pounds since he played quarterback, and as we all know, signed as a tight end to the Jaguars, and has already caught passes from Trevor Lawrence and Gardner Minshew for touchdowns. And from what we know from the Jags, he's going to be used like a Taysom Hill, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because if you're taking Trevor Lawrence out every few plays, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. You're trying to get him developed. If you're taking time away from your first-year starter at quarterback, who's supposed to be your quarterback for the next 10 years at least, to put in Tim Tebow, is taking away valuable time to learn the offense and develop from Trevor Lawrence. And I honestly don't know if Tim Tebow will be taking a consistent amount of snaps under center. But if he is, it's just not a good idea. He's not a good passer. There's a reason he hasn't been in the NFL in 5 years. If you go and look at his stats, okay, his rating is lower than the worst quarterback in the NFL last year, which was Drew Lock. And I'm not saying Tim Tebow is not a good athlete, because he's an incredible athlete. He may be one of the best college players to ever play the game. And in fact, since he signed, he's got nothing but praise from his teammates. And like I said, from what we know, he's already won over the Jacksonville Jaguars and, according to the media, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has also spoke highly to him, saying he's a great teammate, he looks strong, and there's no one better to have in the locker room. Which Tim Tebow must have agreed, because the following practice, he caught every pass that was thrown to him, including 2 touchdowns. Which makes me super excited to see what he's going to do this year, and if he'll make the team. I won't talk a ton about Gardner Minshew in this video, it's just a frustrating situation, and I've already made previous videos about it. That video will be linked in the description, so make sure you go check it out after this video. Guys, if you're enjoying so far, make sure to hit the like, and also subscribe if you want weekly NFL content. I've been posting every week, and I've got some sweet NFL documentaries coming up. Make sure you subscribe so you do not miss it. And the final piece to the puzzle is Urban Meyer, who has never been an NFL head coach and is probably the reason Tim Tebow is getting another chance, because Tim Tebow took Urban Meyer to his first college championship and won. Tim Tebow was also one of the first great players that Urban Meyer ever coached. Tim Tebow is known for being the most competitive and most hard-working player on the team. So if he's worth having on an NFL team, Urban Meyer is the one that will know, and he'll be willing to take a chance on him. But the thing about it is, Urban Meyer's not a good coach in the NFL yet. Like I said, he's never coached an NFL team, and him, along with the Jaguars GM, have made some pretty questionable decisions to me, especially when it comes to the draft. Drafting Trevor Lawrence, although not totally necessary, is probably a good decision. Although there's a case to be made that Gardner Minshew deserves the starting job, and so they could have traded down and gotten more value and built around Gardner Minshew, and that might have been the better decision. But the main problem I have with the Jaguars draft is you draft the second overall running back prospect when you have James Robinson, who is an undrafted free agent who had 1,400 yards in his first year as a rookie, and then you're transitioning him to wide receiver. It just doesn't make any sense, especially when there was a guy like Elijah Moore still on the draft board. That I don't agree with Urban Meyer at all. So I'm really interested to see what'll happen. Just a really interesting situation with these three quarterbacks. Well, one's technically a tight end. Well guys, that's what I have to say on the Jaguars' interesting situation. Make sure to hit the like, and I'll catch you guys in the next upload. Until next time.